Hey there, so you're interested in mastering Azure Functions, right? Okay, dive in, and let's unravel the mystery and practicality of these Azure beauties, starting with their simple allure and diving deeper into the mechanics that keep them buzzing. Azure Functions are this cool serverless compute service where you can get things done without the headache of managing your own infrastructure. Imagine hosting your app at the click of a button, while letting the power of cloud compute, managed by the likes of Azure, run your code. That's the magic of Azure Functions, and they've got some pretty nifty triggers like HTTP requests, timers, and stuff. First things first, triggers are how Azure Functions get their orders. Picture them like the domino effect. If the right domino falls, another one's got to topple. So, an HTTP trigger, for instance, wakes up your code every time someone visits a URL. It's like a digital door-to-door salesman without the annoying part of selling, only getting paid if things work smoothly. The timer trigger is basically your personal alarm clock. It sets things in motion at intervals you define. Suppose you want an email sent out every Monday and Wednesday at 9 a.m. Just set your alarm to go, and voila! Your code wakes up, ready to roll. Pretty straightforward and saves a ton of time. And then we have triggers connected to blob storage. Blobs in Azure are like digital filing cabinets, where you can store objects of various types, and whenever they change, like a new file being uploaded or an existing one getting updated, triggers fire up your code and kick it into action. Think of it as a virtual 24/7 librarian going postal, not for the dust, but because someone just brought a new book to read. Your code reacts as if it's been woken up by a fresh cup of coffee. The beauty of all this chaos is that it's managed by Azure's own orchestra, playing in perfect harmony behind the scenes. When you wake your function via, say, HTTP or time or blob storage, Azure's got your back, allocating resources, monitoring, and scaling. They're like that extra set of hands you were hoping for on a busy day, but with cooler tech and less coffee. Now, let's chat best practices. When orchestrating these functions, remember to keep them lean, not fat. Write them with speed in mind because in the serverless world, you don't get time to waste. Keep functions small. Deploy them as needed. That's just being sensible with resources. Troubleshooting? Yeah, that's a whole other beast, but here's the scoop. Azure provides a suite of monitoring tools for your functions, a digital crystal ball of sorts. They give you insights on function performance, exceptions, resource utilization. It's key to look there when something's off, akin to checking for broken links in a maze. Don't forget about testing. Write tests for your functions, because believe me, the nightmares without a function working are no so fond. With mocking tools and test libraries available for Azure, you are not just a tester, but also a detective looking for bugs that haunt you at night. Enterprise-grade deployment gets more layered. Imagine your Azure functions are stars in a night sky, and you are the guardian of the constellation. You've got to secure the integration points, encrypt secrets, ensure the whole cosmos is stable. Enterprise governance and DevOps best practices come into play here. You've got to manage resources with a level-headed approach, keeping everything in check. But let's get real about this serverless jazz. It's great and all, but remember that cold call you were about to make? Sometimes, a simpler approach is just plain better. Serverless comes with compromises, like having your cake and eating it. Yeah, not quite. You might sacrifice control, and if you are juggling state, sometimes not the most cost-effective approach. But hey, if you love automation and the cloud, these functions are the ride of your techno-adventure. You can read more about the fine balance between serverless and server-driven approaches in a detailed blog post, which weave through pros and cons, making a sound argument for when to take the plunge into Azure Functions. Lastly, remember, the path to mastering Azure Functions is an ongoing journey. Continuously upskill, connect with other cloud architects, maybe even share a cup of code at tech events, and you'll keep this domino effect in your favor. And just like that, you might even find yourself leading the pack in hosting next-gen applications without servers on your shoulders. Feels liberating, doesn't it? In closing, Azure Functions and their triggers can do wonders for your application strategy. If you are yearning to learn more, I'd seriously recommend delving into comprehensive articles and authoritative blogs on the subject. They'll open doors to knowledge you never knew you had. And if this conversation sparked a desire to explore serverless computing even deeper, then do this now. Visit neeraj.qzz.io and subscribe for more insights and drop some cookies of learning for all. Until next time, keep riding the wave of cloud innovation.